It's the first of the month, people. Wake up, wake up. The transfer window, deadline day, madness. Before the league was won last year, we said Liverpool can't get Isak or it's gonna be long. Before the league was won. Then they won the league, and now they've got Isak. Deadline day mayhem is upon us. Now we got international break, Arsenal taking an L, riddled with injuries. Reactionary FC. Will Arsenal react and actually get some business done in the 11th hour? You gonna trust them to do so? I'm not. I'm not trusting them to do anything, not one bit. But there is so much to unpack. I'm still fuming from yesterday, like still fuming. Just got off the road from a lovely night out with the missus. Back everybody's sleep. I'm like, nah, this still bothering me. There's still stuff on the brain that I need to discuss with the debacle, the fuckery that took place at Anfield yesterday. Like my God, like imagine, right? Imagine being cursed out all summer long, being called toxic and negative and every name in the book, only to be proven right in match week 3. Not match week 33, but match week 3, and it's like already going tits up. And there are people like in that crazy group chats creating like top gooner excuses right now saying, hey, you might not be a mad reactionary after 3 games now. This is not a 3 game reaction. This is literally a 5 year sample. This is a 5 year sample size that's just carrying over. It just happens to be 3 games. Normally you'll start strong and you'll stumble through it. But long before the fixture list even came out, I'm like, nah, these fixtures that are coming out, they must. They absolute must. And they didn't must. First all summer long. But right now, the toxic positivity gooners are somewhere cooking up an excuse, cooking up a narrative to run. Hey, we only lost by a set piece. They didn't break us down. But they won't blatantly lie, but they'll stretch the truth. They will stretch the truth and make it seem like we really had a chance at Anfield. Now I think we did have a chance before the lineup came out. I do. I did think we had a chance before the lineup came out. I thought we would actually go there and make a good account of ourselves. Because the sporting director did his job in the summer, the best that he could. Right, some of the deadwood impossible to get out the club. I'm not gonna lie. Some of these contracts are unmovable. They're very economically attractive. But Andrea Bertha gave the fan base and gave the manager, gave the club everything that we were crying out for last year. Last year we were crying out for a striker. We went and got the best one on the market. We're also crying out for a creative midfielder who can help facilitate the offense, help facilitate the attack. Because Odegaard went through the entire season and had 3 goals and 8 assists as the starting chief creator for Arsenal Football Club, and that wasn't good enough. Now was it? It wasn't. So he went and got Eze. Now we go to Anfield, possibly the toughest place that we could play, possibly the toughest ground in the Premier League right now. Right? Could be a toss-up between them and the Etihad. It's not the Emirates. The Emirates is not a fortress. Big up to the Latvian Guna in the building. Big up to 12 of you locked in. Big up to the silent listeners. I appreciate you wherever you're watching from and whatever time it is. It's just past midnight here in the Pacific Northwest. So I know it's mad early in the rest of the world. But yeah. Did we give ourselves a chance today? I felt the entire fan base deflated once the lineup came out. I kind of wish I wasn't live on stream. Shane was fuming because he called this lineup a couple days before. Like, is he really gonna go to Moreno? Because what Arteta showed today is what he really wanted to do against Leeds, but didn't because it was Leeds. When Odegaard went down, he really wanted to just put Moreno in there and show it up, but it was only a 1-0 lead, and he couldn't do this at the Emirates. at the home of the Premier League champs, he probably would have done the same thing and gotten away with it. But he didn't get away with it thanks to Szoboszlai and a worldie. And maybe some poor positioning from his goalie. Yeah, maybe. I don't want to take away from that strike from Szoboszlai because it was beautiful. What, 30, 35, 32 to 35 yards out, and the goalie is getting beat, but it was a wonder strike. You know, when it hit the inside of the post, but I still don't think at this level you should be getting beat from that distance as a professional goalkeeper. But it was a beauty. Big up to Gandhi in the building. The Szoboszlai free kick was Ronaldo-esque. Yeah, you're talking about the one he scored against us in the Champions League quarterfinal. Yeah, that one, bro. That one was. I don't think there'll ever be another one like that one, because that ball was still picking up speed halfway through the. Excuse me, I'm choking just thinking back on that. That ball was still picking up speed halfway through the flight. It was an immaculate strike. But in a perfect world, where Arsenal went there to actually do the business, that strike by Szoboszlai would have made the game 2-1 or 3-1. If we gave ourselves a chance in the game and actually played attacking football, we would have scored. Because Liverpool wasn't great. Liverpool wasn't that great. The big guns were quiet. In a world where you keep Salah, Ekitike, Verts, all the men quiet, you should win the game. Or you should at least get more than one shot on target. Shane Guna was spot on about this entire thing. You know? the only thing he was wrong about was that Calafiori was going to get eaten alive. Because Calafiori, I think, actually played well. Calafiori, who we thought was going to get cooked, baked, fried, sauteed by Mo Salah and or Ekitike, didn't. He didn't put a foot wrong. And when it was time for him to bomb forward, he held his own. He did. So massive big up to Calafiori. But everything else was spot on. The tactics was, let's stink out the game until the 70th minute, 75th minute, and then chuck everyone on. Chuck on Eze, chuck on Odegaard, and try to get something out of it. That's what he did. That was his tactics. So imagine the team talk. Come on, guys. I'm going to start 3 DMs in front of the back four. I'm going to start Gyökeres with no possible way for him to get the ball. He's just going to be here wrestling with Konate all day and see what happens. The boys must be thinking to themselves like, what? So we're not gonna have an attacking outlet. Oh yeah, you have an attacking outlet. It's Nani. Nani Madueke was our best attacking player today. Or yesterday. Yeah. After £1 billion spent, Nani Madueke was the attacking spark for Arsenal Football Club. He was the only one that looked like he wanted to be direct. He is the only one that has the skill to do so. Because Martinelli, the less said about him, oh my God. The less said about that guy, the better. He has no skill. I don't know how many people play FIFA. I don't really play FIFA, so I don't even know how the ratings are. But I'm sure there's a rating for pace, skill, power. I know they do it in Madden NFL ratings with each player, right? But his ratings must be low, like very, very low, because he is. Who's falling for that in 2025? The fake rock of the shoulder. Everyone has played with a baller like Martinelli on their side. And I've played with men like that where I made conscious decision. You know what? I'm not passing him the ball. Because if I pass you the ball, I might as well just give it to the other team. Might as well give it to the other team if you give the ball to Martinelli. He will kick it out of bounds, dribble it off his knee. There was a play when it was 4-on-4. Gyökeres made the strikers run. All Martinelli had to do was look up. Look up. My coaches used to make me run laps if I dribbled the ball with my head down. And this was nowhere near these levels. All he had to do was look up. Because if he looked up, the path was there. But his head down, Kanate played it beautifully. Gyökeres couldn't run anymore. He would have been offsides. And then they get a goal kick out of it. A goal kick, not even a corner. He is so bad. He has all the signs of a low IQ footballer. Now, you can have low IQ as a footballer if you have skill, because we've all played ball with someone who has amazing skill, but their IQ is low. You can teach them. Yeah, I can teach you the game. I can teach you how to make the decisions because we know you have the tech. We know you have the skill. He doesn't have neither. Headless chicken. Poor fundamentals, no skill, low football IQ. Martinelli can go be a wing back somewhere, but it's a back three because he gets praised for his engine, his work rate, and his defensive attributes. He can go be a wing back somewhere. But at the highest level of football in the English Premier League, where you're meant to be hitting Robert Perez, Bobby Perez level at Arsenal Football Club left wing, he'll never be that. And now I have to start putting him. I got to start putting him in the category of I'm not upset at Kai Havertz anymore because Kai Havertz has never scored 20 Premier League goals this season, so I don't expect him to do that as a striker. Hence, we're winning Gyökeres, right? I'm not even gonna get upset at Mikel Moreno for not performing in the midfield in a creative capacity because that's not his game. You know, big up to Terry. Terry Tibbs is better than Arteta. Look at that profile, big. That picture is mad, you know. 3DMs, all creative players on the bench versus a leaky Liverpool defense. Make it make sense. Yeah, make it make sense. This is, and this is why when people tell me that he's a genius, and this is not a hyperbolic statement. Like I've streamed with Arteta lovers that tells me he is a genius, and the only reason that I don't see that he's a genius because I'm not a genius, and it takes a genius to see a genius. This is how they come across, you know. 3DMs at Anfield in a game that you must win because Liverpool have the title. We're meant to be taking it from them. So how the hell are we we meant to snatch the title from these men when we go there and set up for a draw? This was criminal behavior. Kanate locked Gyökeres. VVD calm with key passes. But yeah, Van Dijk did have some key passes. A lot of key passes through the middle too. He put one over the top of Salah, and we played a couple of grass cutters through the middle. I'm not sure if it was him or McAllister that actually passed the ball to Curtis Jones that drew the foul on Zubimendi that led to the free kick. But it was a middle splitting pass, a pass that you expect that us to be playing, getting the ball to Gyökeres up top. Kirk is mature. Madueke is smart, but Sabah's like clutching that set piece. Salah had an off game. He's had quite a few off games, to be fair. Arsenal mental block again. Is it too late? Liverpool strong. Arsenal searching. This is a perfect synopsis of the game, written. Perfect. This is direct, concise, to the point. You name it. This is a perfect snapshot of the game. I'll just put sack Arteta at the end of it to complete it. But is there anyone at the club that's meant to challenge Arteta or say, boss, this is probably not a good idea for you to start all three of these guys? How is Gyökeres meant to get the ball? Everyone knew that Gyökeres was going to have the kind of game that he had. Out wide, fighting with Kanate. There's only one winner there. We had 4, including Zini, creative players on the bench. Yeah, and how many on the pitch? How many were on the pitch? Sorry, Zini wasn't on the bench. He was registered, but was still an option. Yeah. So we had 4 on the bench. How many we had on the pitch? Madueke? That's it. If you want to call creativity from the wing. And I'm going to give none of his flowers. People who watch BBK Sports on a regular know how I feel. Yeah, Ritten, I know you. I know you're UD's friend. I texted UD today back and forth. Big up to you, man. Big up to you. I was supposed to be on with UD, but he had some blog party thing he had to go to. But big up to you, Gandhi, man. Hope you are well. Um, brother, big up beans on toast, man. Big up. Yeah. So Liverpool have imagine, right? Imagine being Liverpool Football Club right now, where you haven't played well, right? You you did a professional job against Bournemouth on opening day, where you went up 2-0, lost the lead, and finished the game on 4-2. And you go away at Newcastle, where you know it was going to be a damn near a UFC bout, and you handle the business there in the final kick of the game. You handle your business there, and then you come home to Arsenal. Arsenal, who are supposed to be in the ascendancy, who just signed Eze, who have their gunmen, who have the second longest tenured managers in the Premier League. The Arsenal Football Club team that just know that Manchester City lost, and that you have a chance to make a mark in the Premier League. And you're Liverpool, and you deal with that, and you get 9 from 9, and you deal with that. And today, you sign Isaac. So what you just did, you just got 9 for 9, and you broke the transfer window record again in the same window from a position of strength, leading the league. That is good. That is fantastic from Liverpool. Not only that, I think they'll sign Gahey as well. All the signs of yesterday's match with Crystal Palace and Villa points to Gahey leaving on a high. Captain's performance. Ben's one in like he's a striker. Off you go to Liverpool. It's Liverpool right now are scary. You know, those videos that Terry Flewis used to do about Arsenal was scary in that first failed title charge. Liverpool are actually scary. Because one, they have a top-class coach, world-class players littered through the squad. They just added quality to their starting 11, not to their bench, but to their starting 11. Ekitike now becomes the depth as of today. Isaac is a bad boy. And anyone who doesn't, admit that he's a bad boy is just pure banter and rival hate. Alexis has signed for Villa. Oh, has he? Alexis is what now? 37? 36, 37? Big up to Beans on Toast, man, saying smash the likes. Please do, people. Please smash the likes. The late night stream before I go to bed. Big up to you. Big up to you, Written. Never write off Liverpool at home, Axe. The 4-0 comeback, that was epic, Champions League nights. Those are the nights we dream of. But under this manager, it will never happen. Now, people, you see in the thumbnail where I say he is the biggest fraud or the highest paid fraud in football. And I really mean that. I really mean, if you're making $15.6 million million pounds a year, and you go to Anfield and you say to yourself, what's the best way for me to beat Liverpool today? Let me leave all the creativity on the bench. Start 3 DMs and defend for my life. I think that's the best way for me to get 3 points today. That was I don't know if that's what's his thought process, but that's what he put out there. That's what he put out there. Make it make sense. We're paying $15.6 million a year for that. Now, part of it, the narrative that people run, and there are agendas on both sides. I'm not going to pretend like this side of the fence or that the out doesn't have an agenda. We do have an agenda, and we admit it. The problem is the other side, who lap up everything that he does and the club does, pretend like they don't have an agenda. That's the difference between us. We admit it. We admit that we have an agenda, and we want him gone. Not at the expense of winning. Because if he wins the Premier League and deliver a trophy, we'll shamelessly celebrate, because that's what we do. But we admit that we have an agenda against this shit. Now, the people who will agenda, the agendas must agenda, right? So there is a conspiracy theory on this side of the fence where people say he didn't want Gyökeres, so I'm going to sabotage him so he looks bad. Big up to the Waffle Don, my brother. Late one for me, man. You know, like those night owl settings that be on with Jordy Dread. This is the time you men be up. You know what I mean? And those be midday for me. So I'm doing a little bit of night owl before I go lay down. But the narrative that runs that he sabotages his attack because that's not the attacker that he wants. Because with the lineup that he put out today, he might as well have signed Sesko. You know, he might as well have played without a striker today. He might as well have just played Trossard. Because Trossard would have came back into the midfield and tried to do a link-up play and all that. Gyökeres was just out there flapping in the wind, fighting with Konate. It was so bad that it literally looks like he's sabotaging Gyökeres to prove a point. That's the relegation team mentality. Yeah. Let's put 2 banks of 5 in front of Liverpool and try not to lose. You know what? An hour hits the clock. Eze doesn't come on. And if you're Eze, you're sitting there, you're looking like, okay, what's really going on here? Like, what's really going on here, Mikael? Like, you don't see the game screaming out for some creativity, and you're just gonna overlook me. Right? You're just gonna pretend like I couldn't be out there doing work. Right? There's also another narrative running against Mikael that goes something along the lines of he can't coach big players or big personalities. Well, I just happen to think that Eze is a big personality, a big name player. And you get him and you don't start him. Like, this was like the C word, right? Cowardly is what we've been calling him. So damn cowardly. Listen, guys, let's defend to the 70th minute and then give it a go. That's literally what he did. That's literally what he did today, and it did not work. He played for a draw and ended up with a loss. You know, it is criminal. The Waffle Don said, my brother, can you explain why our manager played Saliba when he twisted his ankle in the warm-up? Yeah. So I just been made win of that he twisted. The player is always going to tell you that he wants to play. Right? And you cost yourself a substitution window. That is a blunder. Oh, you twist your ankle? Okay, off you go. Change, you're not playing. We see Cole Palmer have a groin issue the other day. Enzo doesn't play him. Everyone in fantasy football land was mad because they had captain and triple captain Palmer, and he didn't play. And turned out the injury was serious because now he's out until after the international break. And it's not like he doesn't trust Mascara because Mascara did come in and do well. The young man did very, very well. But when he wasted that substitution window at halftime, Martinelli should have never came back onto the pitch. Because now you know you can only stop the game 2 other times. If you make the sub at halftime, then you still have those other 2 substitution windows. So he used one at the 70th minute to bring on Eze and Odegaard, and the other in the 89th minute to bring on Max. Like, manage the game. It's literally your job. The manager. And imagine in match week 3, we've only been playing 1 game a week, innit? It's not like we're Man United playing midweek Grimsby Carabao fixtures. 1 game a week. And how many injuries are we down to now? How many injuries? We got Saka, Havertz, Odegaard was injured, Ben White, physical discomfort, Saka, now Saliba, hobbling after the game, rolled his ankle. The manager is fucking trash. A sackless one-hit wonder. He hasn't got a winner's mentality. He hasn't. Even the rivals are telling him that, but the people who are defending this will not hear it. They just latch on to him. They will not hear it. What a floor. A proper manager is supposed to be utter waste, man. So here's the thing, right? When you say sack him now, people say, well, what do you mean sack him? The season just started. Yeah, I'm dead serious that I want him sacked right now. And here's why. We have to sack him while this job is still attractive. Because let's be honest, this is a very attractive job in Europe. This job becomes available, all of a sudden, managers who know they're worth their salt can get more out of this bunch. A manager look at this defense and look at Timber and look at Skelly and look at Gyökeres and Eze and Saka and say, yeah, I can definitely get something out of this. So if we sack him now while this job is still attractive, while the project is still good, it'll be like a transition where Arne Slot takes over a very good team from Klopp and runs the league. But if we let him continue to run these players into the ground, if we let him continue and let players who want to win don't resign because they don't want their names attached to serial second, the next manager will be tasked with doing what top Gunners think Arteta did, which is actually rebuilding or building, because rebuild would imply that we won something. Give him another billion and he would make a meal of this. It's not a money thing. He's been given so much money. It's in him. Clueless. It's a mentality thing. There is no way. The boys went out there and performed to the best of their abilities. But subconsciously, they must be looking at the team that the manager put out and be like, he didn't give us a chance to win. He was really playing for a draw. And we have drawn at Anfield for the past 5 seasons and haven't won. And the manager comes out and want to do another draw. This has to weigh heavy on the players. And once it weighs heavy on the players, it affects their performance. It does. Oh, my feel. Big up to Godfrey in the building. My dog. Big up South Africa. Big up to you, my bro. Had no problem hooking to Tavares and Lakanga, but starts Martinelli and Odegaard. Yeah. He hooks. That was a cup game that he hooked Zambian in the first half, didn't he? I've seen him hook Trossard early too. I've seen him hook Trossard many, many times. But Martinelli is so bad. Big up to the legend BBK in the community. Godfrey, you're the damn legend, man. Big up to you every single time, my brother. Every single time. But the lineup was so frightening. I was in shock. I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I was like, did he really do this? You know, I used this analogy with my brother Waffle down a while ago. You're like, you know, when your wife or someone orders some furniture that you have to put together, but you don't read the instruction, you just start throwing shit together. And then when you're finished or you think you're finished, you have extra parts laying around, or the furniture's all lopsided, looks like a whole different thing that's on the box. It's like Arteta didn't read the instruction on how to beat Liverpool or how to put out an attacking lineup. He just threw 11 players out there, then realized, oh shit, I got extra players on the bench that could actually help. I got an Eze that should be on the pitch, but he's on the bench. You know how many times I saw Martinelli in space where like Eze would cook in that space. And as soon as Eze came on the pitch, he glide by Szoboszlai with so much ease. What Martinelli made look difficult because he has no tech, no skill, no IQ. And at this point, it's not a dig at Martinelli. He's just not good. Who's going to tell him? Is someone going to tell him? I hope no one gets on his social media and abuse the kid. Big up to Baylet Sports in the building. Big up to you, bro. But his skill, his IQ level is very, very low. Like Eze came on and he was on the pitch for 20 minutes, but for 10 of those 20 minutes, Liverpool had the ball. So the 10 minutes of that we had the ball, Eze did more than Martinelli did in 70 minutes. I'm not getting on this defensive winger thing. You see that? You see Savinho? That's the Brazilian winger doing Brazilian winger things. right? And he's younger than Martinelli. You see that Esteval, not just for Chelsea in the Club World Cup. That's a Brazilian winger doing Brazilian winger things. Martinelli is the only Brazilian winger that gets praised for his defensive work. That's no coincidence. That's because he's shit. Who's gonna tell him? You know who's gonna tell him? A new manager that has no emotional attachment to him and his work rate. You shouldn't get praised as a footballer for getting good work rate. That's like getting an award for perfect attendance in school. You're supposed to go to school. What the hell are you supposed to be at when you're 13, 14? You're not gonna get an award for showing up here every day. You're supposed to. Oh, he works hard. He put in a shift. You're supposed to. You're on 180K a week at Arsenal Football Club. You damn right I'll take clap right now, Waffle Don. I'll bite your hand off of that. Arteta way or no other way. Give him another billion. How you leave your chief creators on the bench and wonder why you have one shot on target? That's no coincidence. That's cause and effect. The man has been given a Ferrari, but chooses a sucker mom minivan, the Honda Odyssey. The Honda Odyssey. Now those Honda Odysseys be nice, you know. And what's the other one? The Toyota Sienna, the Sienna, and the Dodge Caravan. I shouldn't even know these things, you know. Waffle down, binging up, God free. Did we go to Anfield looking for a point? I must have misread the script thinking we get a win. Now we went there. Yeah, we went there for a point. We went there trying to keep his record against the top six intact. Yeah, that's what he did. But then man like Sabuzla said, hold my beer. Hold my beer. And just like I said earlier on the Five Guns Waffle Down, that you can see on Sky Sports right now, Isak is a Liverpool player. So when they turn up to the Emirates, we're going to expect a better version of Liverpool. They will have played together by then and know what the business is. I had a six-pack of Modelo on ice when I saw the lineup. I put him back in the fridge. I knew he wasn't getting nothing. We wasn't nothing. Yeah, all my chest went back in. Yes, Gunner. All of it. No chest whatsoever. I just man, only this manager can take this thing out of a signing like an Eberici Eze. And I had someone in the chat earlier saying that Eze should have did more. I'm like, brother, he was on the pitch for 20 minutes. Oh, he's like a super sub. I'm like, a super sub? Nah, brother, Trossard is our super sub. Like, what team in the league Eze doesn't start for? You know, but Arsenal for a second. Okay, that's Arteta tax. The reason why Eze wasn't on the pitch today was Arteta tax. It had nothing to do with fitness, had nothing to do with quality, none of that. It was purely Arteta tax. This was a deliberate decision by the manager. And big up to Shane Gooner. Shane Gooner made a point that said, what if Eze comes on and then bangs a hattie? Or scores, period. It wins us the game. Now he has a selection headache. What does he do with Odegaard? And he don't want those problems. And I understand it because I made that same argument when we were being linked with Sesko as the front runner instead of Gyökeres. And I said it was if Gyökeres comes to Arsenal, he gives Arteta a selection headache. Because he could easily bench Sesko. Sesko scored 13 Bundesliga goals. Those are Kai Havertz numbers. He can't command and demand that he start. But when you're Gyökeres and you just put 50 goals on the board in one calendar year in all comps, you're not coming behind Kai Havertz. No way, no way, no. Blah, blah. Big up to Baylor Sports still. If you haven't subbed to Baylor Sports, Baylor's was pressed by Rashid on Arsenal Revolution TV a couple of weeks back and was accused of being a top gooner. Guilty. I accused him of being a top gooner. He said he was an on-defense gooner, but he is fully Arteta out now. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he has seen enough as well. He has seen enough. The manager is such a fraud. I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw Moreno in the 10 and knew we were in for a long day. There was no creativity. They made Gyökeres look so average, and it's never his fault. Yeah, sabotaged him. Sabotaged him on the day. Made him look like a complete wanker. Like, I felt bad for Gyökeres today. You know? It's like sending your someone to the ATM. You give them the card and not the pin, you know, or give them the wrong pin. So they're at the ATM that's pushing wrong numbers, looking stupid. Putting Yokeres on the pitch with no, putting that man on the pitch with three DMs behind him is the equivalent of having Shaquille O'Neal standing in the paint waiting on the basketball. Criminal. Big up to Suge. Suge, you know, I had to pull up the time. Where's my clock? Because I wanted to know what time it was down under, and in Sydney it's 5 p.m. And I'm thinking to myself, what time is it when we're on the Bruised Banana at 12? And I'm like, it's mad early in the morning when Suge is up, checking in Shane Gooner and DJB and Normski. And when I do get the privilege of appearing on the Bruised Banana, big up to Suge, man. This guy's an absolute legend. With the $5 super chat saying, big up Taron. I used I used to be the biggest Martinelli fan, but it's impossible to back him. Arteta has no cojones to play any other way than this. The fact. But that's the thing. How is he this one dimensional, this so stubborn, but he is played like one of the elites? I honestly believe that you give Iraola this squad, a manager who's tactically astute, Arteta, who I believe is tactically inept, as Sue just so eloquently pointed out. He knows no other way to play. This was an embarrassment today. You can almost say he got exposed. I could change the thumbnail and say Arteta exposed. Because you're giving a striker, you're giving someone who can get the striker the ball, and then you don't play either of them. You play 3 DMs. Exposed. Like other managers around the Premier League who collected their 3 points and watched what we performed, what we put out today, must be looking at Arteta like, what's he doing? What is he doing? He's embarrassing us. I'm in group chats and I'm on the internet having to explain to rivals what the manager is doing. I got Man United fans thinking they can check me, saying we're only 2 points behind Arsenal. Check the table, we're above Man City. These are United fans saying this, you know? My God. What did Moreno do yesterday? I did not notice him. I didn't notice him falling down on corners. Yeah, he did. He did. He felt like a sack of potatoes on that corner. I think that pissed off Van Dijk and him as well. They were like, bro, get up. Get up. The manager needs to meet Red Foreman and get with a swift kick in the ass. Quick and fast. Watching Martinelli does my head in. He's diabolical at this point, said Godfrey. January transfer window, sell his Clark. But that's the thing. I've heard that Arteta has blocked the sale, and I've heard it on good sources too. When Bayern wanted him and when Saudi wanted him, no, the manager has him in his plans. I'm like, what? Has him in his plans? What are we doing? Plans for what? Plans, he wants. So what that tells me is that he watches Martinelli with the same eyes through the same lens that we do, and he wants more of that. He wants more of that shit. Because what we're seeing is bad. Like diabolical bad. You know? Big up to the Waffle Don and sub to the channel, people. Please do sub to the channel. 45 minutes went by, halftime came, and I still had notice the Yokeres on the pitch. Yeah, but I think I can count his touches on one hand. Yeah, gun. I saw Raya's positioning from Ab's post. I can't lie, it was suspect. Could have saved it. It wasn't far from reaching the ball, but unbelievable goal nonetheless. And that's the thing, Godfrey. It's tough. You have to find the balance to criticize Raya while giving credit to Szoboszlai, because it was a beautiful. I was in the living room. I leave the phone here. I'm in the living room watching it on the big screen. And I'm saying to myself, okay, we've kept these men at bay for 80 minutes. It was 4 people on the free kick. I'm like, these men are having a family meeting trying to figure out how to break us down. But shit, whatever they came out of that meeting with, it worked. You know, man banged it in. And, you know, I was in shock as well. I saw only this shithead of a manager could ruin Eze Gyökeres's debuts. Yeah, absolute diabolical. We never get those storybook endings. It's just never us. What we do is that we gift. Remember Anthony's debut in September of 2023? September of 2022. He scored against us. He turned up at Old Trafford. Yeah, and the rest of Anthony's career has been hot garbage. But you remember he scored his debut against us. Rashford debut. Wayne Rooney, Everton. That's Anthocals FC. Right after the game, using Arteta excuses, talking about that they need to adjust the ball. Embarrassing us. 3:30 a.m. Yeah, you're on the East Coast there, VS Gunner. Are you Queen City, or are you still down in Florida? Yeah, I'm out here in the Pacific Northwest, man. But you know, tomorrow is Labor Day, so everybody's off early in the morning. Suge, big up to Suge, man. Arteta definitely told him to say that rubbish that being good. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, everything they say is you know, it's one voice. They sing from the same hymn sheet. You know, at this point, I don't know who's gonna get sacked first, him, Emery, or Potter. Now, Arteta's name needs to be in the sack first conversation. He's just getting away with murder here, people. And I'm gonna double down on the fact that I do think he needs to be sacked while the squad is still good, while this job is still attractive. Because you can attract top managers with the world's best defense to London. You know, you can attract top managers, you know, with the best defense, 2 of the greatest center backs in the Premier League right now. Timber, Skelly, Saka, Declan Rice, Gyökeres, Eze. Another manager looks at this and be like, you know, I can do wonders with that. Arteta takes it to Anfield and leaves the creativity on the bench. Is absolutely criminal. He's just, there's no way you need a Class C license, Class A license, to know that Eze on the pitch would give you a better option of winning. Big up to Yudi with the Yudi. Why would you send me a super chat and not say anything? Did you forget to type what you needed to type? If you need to tell me something, just type it back. Don't send another super chat. Thank you very, very much. Big up to Yudi. People, make sure you are subscribing to Loudmouth Football. One of the most humble Liverpool fans that you'll ever meet. The most humble champion I've ever met in these YouTube spaces is Yudi from Loudmouth Football. Top guy. Big him up every single time. The Bournemouth manager outplayed us twice last season and would have played better. Yeah, he did. Yep. 2-0 at the Vitality Stadium, and then what was it? 2-1 at the Emirates. Dude said the game kicked off at 1:30 a.m. for me, and then didn't sleep since, and still did a full work in the office. I'm pissed with our strategies. See, when the 12:30 kickoff. So when we the Palace, not the Palace. When we get back from the international break, so that 12:30 kickoff, 12:30 UK time is 4:30 a.m. my time. So I'm gonna be up around 4 for that one, and you know, it will be scenes. You know, so it's the pain we play as international fans to support our club. You know, but I'm not gonna sit here and tell myself I'm not gonna watch, because I know I'm gonna. See if there's any HR complaints. Yeah, what the fuck? These mother. What is it? People, one of the reasons why I don't do watch-alongs, because I would have been a complete lunatic on the internet today. Watching a we will thrive under another manager that will play him in a more central role. Nothing to think about, just scoring. Yeah, because he did look good on the Emery. This is not the same Martinelli. On the Emery, he actually looked like he could play football. He would score the hard ones. Miss some of the easy ones, but he would score the hard ones. He looked like a baller. Did you see that at the end of the first half? Gyökeres had only 2 more touches the ball than Saliba, who came up in the 3rd minute. Oh, brother. These stats are an indictment. This stat is a direct cause or a direct effect of having Eze sit on the bench while Mikel Moreno's is out there running around. Luckily done, says Suge. Yeah, Suge, we need you to stay in the fight. We need you, brother. We need you, Suge. Go get some sleep. I'm gonna get some sleep, you. I'm gonna get some good ones, and I'm gonna wake up because we got a massive day of transfer madness ahead of us. Big up to Mr. Batter. Big up Darren. Big up. Did you realize you had a stream on? I didn't either. So I went out with the wife, had a lovely evening out, came back, wife sleep, kids sleep. It's Monday, but I'm still bothered. Mr. Batter. It's eating me away. Our performance today was so stinky. This performance, if today's loss was a crime scene, it had Arteta's DNA all over it. All over it. Fingerprints, blood, saliva, all of it. Shoe prints, teeth impressions, all the things that you would need for a stone cold case to put someone. Yeah, you didn't know what time it is. It's home. BX Gunner back in the Queen City. Missed that place, I should probably come visit Charlotte for CIAA next year. So I'll keep you posted on that, BX Gunner. If that happens, Panorama City. Here we go. So is Edison on his way out? Is Edison going to Turkey or is he going to Saudi? You just say I love your dedication. You deserve the universe, brother. Level-headed Arsenal fan right here. Yudi, I'm pissed. I am so upset. I just want us to have a fair, not even a fair, but a fighter's chance. I don't think the manager gave the players a fair shot today. He didn't set them up to win. And as a player, right, as a CW4, right, I'm responsible to make sure that everyone under me has the right training and the right tools that they need to do their job. I have to set them up for success, give them the best possible chance to succeed. And if they fail, it's on me. I don't think he set those boys up today to win. I really don't. But these are kind words, Judy. So thank you, sir. Thank you, man. Thank you. You're far too kind. And make sure when you get some free time, you make your way over here to BB because we have a lot to talk about, just like you said. The other 19 managers. BX Gunner, when the news broke today on Rashid's channel, when I was on there, when it was my turn to speak, this is what I said. Not this verbatim, but I asked the panel. It was a rhetorical question, but I asked them, in what world do we see any other manager go to Anfield and not start Eze? I didn't even say their best player. I used them by name, just like you just did. What other managers would go to Anfield and do? It's like if they did that, it would be called career suicide. But Arteta is doing it, and he knows that his job is not in jeopardy somehow. He deserves the full 90. Arteta trying to exercise his authority, but why? What's the why? I actually agree with this, Yudi, but what's the why? Did he take a huge injection of the narcissism opium that he needs to win, but he has to win his way to the detriment of the team? 11:30 p.m. kickoff for me, and I have barely slept after as well. But for me, more positive reasons: game result and deadline day signings. Mr. Bat, are you back in Singapore? Or are you still in Houston? Let us know, brother. We gotta keep tabs on you while you travel. The kids on display today were fire from both sides. You regret getting those. You regret buying the merch after today's craziness. Oh my days. Where we at? Can't go over an hour. So I have to make sure I get through these comments. Uh, all right, all right. Well, I'd add Arteta in the FBI's most wanted list. Criminal, terrorist football. Bin Laden sentence, like Khawaja always says. I'm surprised Newcastle didn't go for Edison, especially at that price, less than 50 million. And he's definitely better than Pope and has PL and Champions League experience. Facts. Big facts. If it wasn't, the Manchester thing, I thought United might have won for him. But I'm hearing they're linked with Emi Martinez because he wasn't in the squad today as Villa picked up 3. Got punched up, properly punched up by Crystal Palace. Bertha is getting the shortlisted manager. Ladies, I hope he has to. In his dossier, I know Bertha has a list of managers that he knows can get the most, can get more out of this squad. I'm so disappointed in today's result because I know that the Liverpool that's coming to the Emirates will be a whole new kettle of fish. Back in Singapore was a week trip. Go back Saturday evening. Okay, fair, man. Hope you are good, my bro. Yeah, good, man. I wish I was still in Oklahoma side, Texas side. I would have made my way down there to at least buy you a beer, my bro. I'm glad you made it back home safely. How are we feeling after Saturday's game, Arteta? Arteta's master farce. So the thing is, right, here we are as Arsenal showing up to Anfield. Bukayo Saka's out. The natural replacement for him. The natural replacement for him is Nani Madueke. Who starts for him? Okay, cool. You get that. Yeah? Put that in the bin. Put that aside. Okay. Now, Odegaard, your captain, got injured last week. Creative player. Natural replacement for him. Eberici Eze, which you just signed, registered, introduced, everything, ready to play, training session, all that. And you opt for Mourinho? That's what 15.6 million pounds a year get us. You replace the like for like for your right winger with a natural replacement. Before your creative midfielder, you have a better one, and you opt for the worst one that's worse than the one that's injured. You see, it's like when you catch someone cheating, or you catch someone with their hand in the cookie jar, and then they give you a whole rigmarole on why they're doing what they're doing instead of just doing the simple thing that made sense. This was starting Moreno to get the ball to Gyökeres while you have Eze and Odegaard on the bench. It's like missing an open goal. It's like missing a layup. It's like missing a dunk. Yeah, he's the Liverpool looking shaky. Glasner wants to keep him. Just what we said about moving quick for other players. Bertha, DG, you guys are solid with Eze, but Bertha did us a solid bad. But Arteta did you guys did us a solid benching him. I can't argue with this, Mr. Barrett. This is just it's true. It is true. Like when the Liverpool players saw the lineup, they probably couldn't believe their luck. I know Slot was like, Mikel, are you having a laugh? 3 DMs against my midfield. One of your DMs who can't run versus Gavenberch, who all he does is run. I'm going to put Sabozlai at right back. Oh, you're not going to attack him? Okay. Hey, Sabozo, step into midfield and start pinging passes everywhere. So said, so done. Zubi was horrible, not Jorginho's level. I actually don't think Zubi was terrible. Well done. I really don't think Zubi was terrible at all. Part of me is just not wanting to fault any of the players today, to include Martinelli, and as bad as he was. I want to put all the blame, like all this blame pie, is 100% Mikhail. He's getting 100% of it. This was down to him. Bring me Lukman or Wissa and a new manager, please, and thank you. Yeah, man. We'll be making a permanent move to Houston, bro. We'll definitely catch up for sure. Yeah, man. Just make sure you hit me up, man. And make sure that that first beer that you drink will be on me. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for another therapy session. Like it is. It's 1 a.m. We got to wake up and do some other stuff tomorrow. Even though we're off, I still got the early wake up. I still got the military mindset. Got some stuff to do. But thank you so much again. Thank you to Mr. Batter. Thank you to Sheldon, DX Gunner, Stooge, Godfrey, DX Gunner, every single one of you, man. Thank you. Big up to all the super chatters, all the members of the channel. Big up to you, man. Big up to you. I said, brother, don't you tell me spelling Nelly off the hoogies. Thinking fast, spelling Nelly. Big up to you people, man. I'm back in the morning with the football digest, and I'm also on the night owl tomorrow with Jordy Dread. And there will be some transfer stuff going back and forth, I think, with Aaron Talks Football and Shane Goon. So big up to every single one of you. I think Tops is on Tichanjo Sports, and the Bruce Banana comes on in an hour and a half. So make sure you guys check that out, people. Big up to every single one of you. Like I always say, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.